So we were speaking a little while ago about how, as we've got to know the team, obviously Brent and Danny and all the guys that are with the race team and helping out. I mean, again, I never, having spent some time around the paddock, and Jess, who works with us from the marketing team point of view, is open to that. But I think a lot of people that have been coming from Autotech into the paddock area have been amazed at the amount of people that are involved in that team. Ultimately, yourself and the likes of Chrissy, you're the front men, the people that the poster boys, if you like. But there's a huge amount that goes on behind the scenes, isn't there, in the race team to get that bike out and make it competitive.
We definitely can't take all the credit for the race weekend because, i.e. this weekend, the amount of things the team have tried on that bike to try and make it better for me is amazing, and I can't thank them anymore for doing it. So I'll come in and speak to Jeff and tell him my feeling on the bike, and this weekend it's kind of been like, the bike feels good, but I'm struggling to do it. So Jeff's absolutely kicking and screaming because he can't do anything because it doesn't feel bad. So Jeff kind of wants me to come in and say it's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's not doing that. It's not doing this, because then he can try and fix it. So that's kind of what Jeff does, and Jeff will give the orders out to the team, and he'll have a good plan of what we're going to do that weekend. And then we've got my two mechanics, Mark and Martin, and so Mark works on the front of the bike and Martin works towards the rear of the bike, so they kind of split it in half, but they'll work together when it comes to it on changing an engine or something like that. And then I've got Aaron, my data guy, and Ash. So we've got two data guys now, and they are so good. They can get my bike pretty much perfect to what I'm asking for. So I couldn't ask for more off them. They're really good. And then we have Tim.
And that's very much around the electronics of the bike, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the electronics, yeah. So what the bike's doing out on track, they can see everything it's doing, what it's revving to. Where the front fork position is, and what the rear wheel speed is compared to the front, i.e. sliding and stuff like that out of corners. Wheelie, you can always see the speeds down on the front wheel if it's wheeling out of corners. So it's little things like that they can pick up, that it's wheeling there, it's sliding there, we can trim that out. They can trim the throttle out of it, so when I'm full throttle the bike's only at 80% throttle. So it makes my life easier, and all I've got to do is ride the bike. So in terms of that, they're really good with that, and my advice is that is a good trait to get into, because if you're good at that, there's job opportunities always for that. There's a lot of teams looking all the time.
Well, I know, speaking to Brent, I think it was a couple of months ago, was the data and the electronic side of it is a real big issue, and not just for you guys in the paddock. I mean, the whole paddock, and that's just in BSB, but in MotoGP. And I think pretty much even in car racing as well, touring car, everything, good electronics data people are like, hen's teeth to find. And I was amazed. I think Brent was saying to me, some of the top guys in MotoGP now are probably looking after Valentino Rossi's Yamaha. You're probably talking 250 grand a year, those sort of guys are earning, in terms of, really good data engineers and that. So
that's not a bad wage.
Exactly. So if you like electronics and you're good with electronics and software and data and that sort of stuff,
it's definitely not a waste of time to get into.
Exactly. So, but you mentioned Mark and likes of Jeff and people. Jeff's been around. He's had a whole career in racing, isn't he? And pretty much
Jeff should have retired really. But because he loves racing, he's still in it, and I'm kind of like his last protege with racing. And Jeff worked with Marlboro Yamaha and stuff like that with Kevin Swantz and Wayne Rainey kind of era. So Jeff's seen a lot in his racing career. He's seen world champions, he's ran world champions. So he knows what goes into making a world champion. So that's kind of what he's trying to rub off into me, and I'd like to say it is working. It's good, and we've got a good work ethic together now.
But then you've got marketing, hospitality.
And that's Brent's side.
Exactly.
Brent works on all that, and obviously Brent's a team owner as well. But Brent will find us all the sponsors for the season to make it all happen, and obviously Brent puts all the plans together for the hospitality and what sponsors are coming that weekend, and he always puts together a good show and makes sure they're all happy. And then obviously we can't forget Tim in the team. Tim's the tyre boy, and my pit board. So Tim will signal me out on track as to what's happening, what position I'm in, who's where, how far they are behind me, how far they are in front of me, and that's literally off a board on one straight round the whole track.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tim does that, and then he does all my tyres. So he makes sure I've got the right tyres on the rims, and what tyres I'm going to be running, and what pressures the tyres are running at. So that's even a big job as well. Just that little job is a big job.
Yeah.
So every role in the team is a big role.
Yeah, and I think the key word in all of that is, and I know it kind of gets glossed over, because whether it's you know LKQ Euro car parts team, or whether it's Honda racing team, or the word in it is team, isn't it? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, for a lot of people that we speak to nowadays, certainly youngsters that want to get into employment and a job and things like that, when you are walking into an environment of work, it's a team. That's the thing.
You're not going to work for someone. You're going to work with someone.
Exactly. And for you to get the best out of what you need to do is your job role within that team. You've got to work with the others and communicate with them as to...
So it's just like with all the other riders that ride for other teams, it is literally just like, say, one of you guys having a job somewhere else compared to your mates, because they've got a different job to me, and I've got a different job to them.
Yeah.
And they're on a different manufacturer, different team, different people around them. It's a different job.
Yeah.
But you're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally just like normal day life, but it's just a different kind of job.